Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Andrew.
Well,
Yes.
what have we done today then? Are you being served?
We have done Are You Being Served? 50 Years On,
Yes.
which is a Mrs. Slocum based story.
Now, Mrs. Slocum is green. Green is the colour for Mrs.
She's got
Slocum's
very
hair.
green hair. It's not quite Grotbags green, but it's not far off.
Who's Grotbags?
Grotbags is the witch from Emu and the Pink Women.
Right, okay.
Everybody knows who Grotbags is.
Not everybody knows.
I bet they do. Go and look her up, Grotbags.
The lift opens. It's
Yes.
absolutely full of customers.
Yes, there's loads of people in there.
There's at least six.
Yeah, 6 plus 4 extras and 2 speaking parts.
Out comes Tony Simpson and Mavis Pugh.
Mavis Pugh. Tony Simpson, who you will see again in Are You Being Served?
Yeah,
In a series or two.
yeah, with his big bushy white
With a
beard.
big bushy white beard. He doesn't get to say anything here because he's completely dominated by his wife. She just says it and he repeats it.
Yeah, but yeah, Tony Simpson plays a lot of parts where he's just credited as old man,
Do you
isn't
think
he?
he played old man the whole of his life?
Well, pretty much so. And Mavis Pugh, she's in Faulty Towers,
She
The
is.
Kipper and the
Apparently,
Corpse,
yes,
but
I
she's
don't remember
in
that.
Dad's Army
Yep.
as Lady Maltby. She
Yes.
returns in Are You Being Served as
Yes.
Lady Weeble
Yes.
And you said...
She's in You Rang My
You Rang
Lord.
My Lord as-
She's Lady Lavender.
Right, okay.
She's in a lot of sort of Crofton Perry, Crofton Lloyd
Yeah.
stuff.
But they're after a robe and swimming trunks.
Yes.
Mr. Granger is brim
He's
steaming.
brings steam. He's got a hat and he's got the steam and he's sort of doing this to do something to the
And
bridge.
Mr. Lucas is helping a lady look for something large in Y-fronts.
Yes, for a husband.
But Mr. Humphreys is free.
Yes.
And he gets a real good reaction
He
when
does.
he says, I'm
he
free.
does because he's
doesn't
in
he?
the changing room, and Captain Peacock says, "Mr. Humphreys, are you free?"
He sticks his head out the curtain.
I'm
doesn't he?
free.
And he gets a proper reaction.
Yeah.
Apparently he had a disaster with his braces.
Yes, his braces pinged.
Yeah.
So he had his hands jammed in his pockets, stop his trousers falling down.
Yeah, when he was doing an inside leg. But they're thinking of going to the Orkneys, this
Yes.
couple, aren't they?
Yeah, because Mr. Humphreys says to him, Bermuda shorts which come to the knee, or
Yeah.
shorts which come to sort of the top
Yeah.
of your thigh, or like
Briefs.
briefs which are very
Yeah.
brief.
And everything else
And-
is the sports
yes.
department.
And he said, "Where are you going?" And she says, "The Orkneys." Mr. Lucas says, "Have you considered Harry's tweed?"
Mrs. Slocum, meanwhile, has been to the pub.
Not
Not that day, but the day
No.
before, night before.
Yeah.
And she had a bottle of champagne.
Yes, because it's her birthday.
Her birthday, but she dropped her handbag and her
A
change
fell
went
out.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And there was a man he had a limp that was very like Steve McQueen's limp.
In bullets.
Right, okay, is that
Never
what
seen
it was?
bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Tony Simpson comes out in his robe,
Yes.
sort of
And
stripy
he's-
thing.
You know, he
isn't
says,
it?
Mr. Humphrey says, "Would you like to see the shawls?" And she says yes. And he opens the robe,
Yeah.
and the implication is he's not got anything on
Yeah.
underneath it.
But there is a line, thank heavens he managed
Yes.
to wear his Y-fronts, but
Yeah,
basically he
rip his wife
flashes it.
He
Mavis
flashes
Pugh.
it. Yeah, his wife.
Mr. Harmon comes on the floor.
Yes, singing.
Yeah. And it's if you want to get a head, get a hat week.
Yes. So he's got a head with a hat on it that jiggles about.
Well, the hat goes up
Yes.
and the eyes light up,
Yes.
don't they?
It's a bit demonic. Can't
Yeah.
say it.
But apparently Mr. Humphreys never gets the wrist action right when brim's steaming.
No.
But this thing, the hat goes up and down, eyes they don't actually light up at
To
the
start
first
with,
to start
no,
with,
no.
but it goes, I like it, I like it, I like it.
Yes.
You know, like who's doing the voice
I
for
don't know
that?
who's doing
I
the
don't know.
voice for it.
Couldn't recognise
Uncredited.
it. And there's a flexi girdle display thing
Yes.
as well, which
Yes.
is legs
Yes.
with this sort of
With sort of suspenders and stockings on.
and how do the legs go?
They go out like that and back, and then the hat goes up and his eyes flash and he says,
Well, one lights up and the other one winks.
no, yes,
if
it's
you
sort of,
notice,
yeah.
I don't know whether it's meant to be like that
No,
or whether it's just a
it's
sort
just-
of dodgy model.
Yes, shoddy.
Yeah. Well, BBC terms, I don't
Yes.
know whether
Yeah,
that was
no,
a
I know what
mistake.
you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the canteen, there's some debate about the soup that Mr. Humphreys has got, whether it's chicken or vegetable. It seems to have a fish bone in it, but it turns out to be a hair grip.
Yes.
Captain Peacock's on the grapefruit segments, and he's been to a Greek taverna where you could get a load of stuff for nearly £6.
£6 each.
No, it was total.
Oh, total.
It
All right,
was
okay.
total,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry, £6. No, you
But
can't even get Well, you can just about get fish and chips for £6.
Yeah. But Mr. Granger is of the opinion that you should take your wife out for an airing every now and then.
Somebody says you make her sound like a spaniel.
Yeah.
Then he says she doesn't look anything like a spaniel. She's got lovely ears.
Yeah.
From the side.
In profile.
Yeah,
head on, it's a bit of a shock.
Yes, because Mr. Lucas says that she needs her ears tying up when she has soup.
But Mr. Humphreys says about sort of his evenings in, and he
gets Jimmy Young's cookbook off the shelf.
Yeah, and
Funny Craddock would be better, surely.
Yeah, and they watch Warship as well.
They watch Warship, yes, and pretend to be the commander.
Yeah, when he's cross. But Mr. Granger suggests what they could get for Mrs. Slocum.
Yes, because they get onto the subject of, because she excuses herself because she has said to Miss Brahms
to set it up, basically.
To set it up, and she's mentioned birthdays every sentence, really. So she goes off, and Miss Brahms says it's her birthday in 3 days. So they think about what they're going to get her, because obviously they have a collection.
Yeah.
And they're going to put first of all, they're going to say they're going to put 50p in each.
Let's do the suggestion first, because Mr. Granger's suggestion is a cyanide tablet.
Yes.
No, I take that back. Everyone is very relieved. 2 cyanide tablets.
The first one doesn't work.
Yeah. So
it's a great crabbiness from Mr. Granger in this episode.
So 50p a head is the suggestion at first.
Now, I don't know exactly how much. I mean, obviously it's worth 50p, but in terms of prices then and wages then, I wonder how much in terms of what it would be now.
Well, there are online calculators, we could look it up.
It's not much now, but maybe it's quite a lot
50p
then.
Still sounds like a lot to Mr. Lucas, who suggests 25p for juniors, and he's told he's not that junior.
Yes. And then Miss Brahms thinks that Mrs. Slocum is 50.
Yeah, because last year she was the same age as her cat, who was 7.
Yes. Though they get the year she got the cat wrong, don't they? Because Miss Brahms says it was 1968, and when they've checked, Mr. Lucas or Mr. Humphreys says it was 1969.
I think that's when she got a new one.
Yeah, but that would still be 7 years ago, and 68 would be 8 years ago, wouldn't it? If it's 76. I think it's Miss Slocum, Miss Brahms or Wendy Richard has got the year wrong.
Okay, but they say 1 year is 7 years for cats.
In cat terms, yes.
So if the cat was 49, then a year later, what was it? Mr. Lucas multiplies it again and says 7 times 50. That makes her 350, which is about right.
Yes. But because they think she's 50,
it's got to be a pound a head.
It's got to be a pound a head because it's a special birthday, and it makes her the same age as the Queen as well.
Yeah. What was it? Mr. Humphreys' mum says she's older than her teeth.
Yeah, because they need to try and find out how old she is, or because they then how old she is.
Mr. Granger says he's a great deal older than his teeth.
But Mr. Humphreys' mum says she's not as old as her nose, same age as her, not as old as her nose, but older than her teeth.
Yeah, but they then start trying to sort of work it out. So the Jarrow March was in 1936.
Yes.
So could she remember that?
Yes.
Not really, as she was born in Blackpool.
Yes. But we would see it on the newsreels, I suppose, at the cinema.
But they've got a diary.
Yes.
And if she was born in 1926, there's a load of
really obscure
forgettable things about sort of evacuating Cologne and things like that. And somebody was king of the Whatsits, I can't remember. But nothing about the general strike.
No.
Though Mr. Granger apparently drove an ambulance. What was her earliest she comes back now. So what was her earliest memory? And it's her uncle with a big red face and a moustache.
Yes.
Sort of looming into her cot, and how does he go?
Brian Blessed.
And something about the room being full of smoke or something.
Yes. They go, because one of the things that is in this diary is this Shakespeare Theatre at Stratford caught fire. And they go, Stratford? And she's like, Morecambe,
but cut back to the shop floor, and she's looking at a simulated fox thing,
which is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Even if it is simulated, I don't know why anybody would want to wear something like that.
But it starts off at £18.
Yeah.
And
she keeps marking it down.
Because it's like sort of got a hole in it, and it's like shop soiled, and like, and you apply staff discount, and eventually if she can get it down to £6, write £6 on it, a passing customer buys it immediately at £6, so that didn't work.
No.
Mr. Harmon is invited to chip some money in, and he points out that he's not allowed on the floor.
Yes, during opening hours.
Mr. Humphreys has got a tall friend who's going to make a cake.
Yes.
And they're going to do something exotic with 50 candles. Mr. Rumbold's office. He does actually hand over £1.
He does.
Amazingly,
£1 note.
See it? Yeah. Phones up young Mr. Grace, and he picks up the phone, and
he's got
it the wrong way round.
Yeah.
You're very faint, Mr. Rumbold on the other end. You're very faint. I said it first, so he can hear that.
You can hear that. And eventually secretary comes in.
Well, first of all he says try it the other way round, and then he swaps it to the other ear.
The other side, the other ear. Yeah.
And then, yes, as you said, his secretary making a first appearance for Penny Irving.
Penny Irving, who will become one of the regulars.
Yes, she will be around for a while.
She will.
And later on is in Heidi High.
She is.
Yeah. Yes. He's going to put in half a crown, though, and wonders how old she is. And Mr. Rumbold points out that we've gone metric now, and it's new pence.
New pence, and it's 100 pence to £1.
So, if she's 100, she should be retired. But
he'll put 5 bob in.
5 bob in.
Which is 25
25p.
Yeah.
So it's gone up to a grand total of £6.25.
£6.25, yeah.
So they're trying to think what to get her. Maybe some vouchers for cut price at the canteen.
Yeah.
Voucher for a new pussy, or Madame Beryl's beauty parlour for a facial.
Yeah.
But Mr. Lucas said there wouldn't be enough concrete to fill in all the cracks.
No.
Mr. Humphreys mentions his friend again, and he sort of points out he's friends with lots of people. Yeah.
Mr. Rumble refers to him as he, and he's like,
no, I've got friends with people of all sexes. Yeah.
Yes. And a horse.
And including a rag and boneman's horse that was very affectionate to him. But they're going to sing Happy Birthday to You. But last time they sung it, they did it for Mr. Rumbold, and they were out the door almost straight away, weren't they? Because there was a transport strike on. The only one that completed the actual line was Mr. Granger, who got his scarf caught in the till.
In the till, yes. Yeah.
How will you be able to sing? I don't know. But they're going to have the rehearsal, so Mr. Rumbold gets his organ out again, doesn't he?
Well, normally they have a piano. This is the first time I've seen the organ.
Or is this the first time you've seen his organ?
Yes.
All right, okay. The phone goes, and it's Mr. Humphrey's mother, and he says...
No, he phones his mother.
Oh, sorry, he phones his mother and says to leave the dinner in the oven. And he says he's involved with the choir.
Yes.
And then he has to point out that it was nothing to do with the vicar, and that was all in the past or something, so I don't know quite when.
And then again, they've changed it again.
Wish she'd get married again.
Yes, considering
just a
last
couple
week
of episodes ago,
she was visiting him to get away from his father. It's they really need to sort their continuity out.
But there's the question mark over what Mrs. Slocum's first name is.
Yes.
And they think it might start with an E.
Yes.
But for the moment, they'll just sing And now we go into a whole great big long routine, which is actually very funny. It sounds stupid now we're going to say it, but because the whole thing's being done in song.
Yeah.
So if it's...
They need to know how much space to leave.
Yeah, how many syllables it is.
How many syllables.
So
is it or is it
or is it if it's Eleanor, or if it's Esmeralda, it's got to be which sounds like a bad attack of indigestion.
Yeah.
But in the end they go for 2 Rs.
Yes.
And Mr. Granger has been waiting for this because he approves of 2 Rs because 2 is human.
And they would just sort of look at him.
He looks really disappointed. He laughs at his joke.
Bless him.
But Captain Peacock is going to sing really low, isn't he? Happy birthday to you.
Why they can't just sing it normally?
And Mr. Lucas and Mr. Humphreys are going to sing the descant.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Get him do it. And they have a good go at doing it.
Well, first of all,
they go off to have a word with each other.
Says, "Can I have a word with my friend?"
With my friend.
And they go off and they do this sort of thing.
Adjust their pants.
Like they're trying to pull their pants up to give them a higher pitch. I'm not sure that works.
But they don't think they can get to the top do they? Mr. Rumbold says you don't know what you can do until you try, and Mr. Humphreys agrees with that. But they have a go at singing it, and Mr. Lucas is ruddy awful, isn't he?
Yes.
And I've just written down worse singing than me.
Yes. But the problem is because it's high.
Yeah.
They're concentrating so much on keeping the note, but it goes out of tune. So it's all over the place, isn't it?
Mr. Humphreys' braces go again.
Yes.
Apparently, Mr. Rumbold was a founder member of the Derry and Tom's Glee Club.
Yes.
No wonder they shut down or something. Yeah.
That's what Captain Pocock says. No wonder
they sing, and the thing goes, I like it, I like it, I like it.
Yes.
So next day now, and Mrs. Slocum's going to go, but she makes a thing about,
Yeah, well, because she's going. Her and
Mrs.
Axelby are going to have a meal in a restaurant next to the dance club opposite the American Officers Club.
Oh yeah, hope to be
picked up.
Yes, basically. But yeah, just one moment, Mrs. Slocum, and we're going to make a little gesture, and what does Mr. Granger do?
He gives her a yes. They sort of push his hand down, but she doesn't see it anyway.
But they've got a present, and they pass this box.
Yes, and they're all looking at it.
They pass it to each other.
Going,
oh, that's nice.
I've not seen one of those before.
I could have done with one of those in the desert. I've got one of those. I'd never be without it.
Yes.
And then Mr. Humphreys just looks straight into the camera and goes, we're not going to tell you what it is. It's a secret.
Yes.
So... Again, they know they've got an audience, so
that, or they couldn't think of what it was.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's just it's a very strange thing to do. Yeah. I'm like, well, they couldn't decide what to write, but they make a thing of it, and it actually, that worked for me. So you don't see what it is, and then the cake is brought on, isn't it? Unveiled. Yes. Now, this is based on the description.
A song first.
Oh, you get the song?
Yes,
okay.
Song first.
Yeah.
Because the unveiling of the cake is the last shot of the episode.
Yeah. So how do they... Because they've got a name on a bit of paper.
Yes,
and
they pass it around.
Happy birthday, dear. What is it?
Mary Elizabeth... Where were you? Can you have it written
down?
Mary Elizabeth Jennifer Abergavenny Slocum Yiddle.
I don't think we've got to Yiddle yet. They don't mention that. But yeah, it's
a really
more
long
syllables
name.
than they practice at all.
Yes. Mary Elizabeth Jennifer Abergavenny. I'm having real trouble with Abergavenny tonight. Slocum.
So on comes the cake, which is based on a description that Mr. Humphreys gave to his tall friend.
Yes.
And what is the cake?
It's a pair of bloomers.
But it's got arse cheeks.
Yeah, it's a pair of bloomers on somebody's arse. Yeah. And it's got 50 on each cheek of the bottom and loads of candles. And Mrs. Slocum takes offence at this. 50?
Not at the arse.
Not at the arse, yeah. 50? I'm 46.
And she flounces off.
She's never 46.
And you have been watching.
Yes.
But I enjoyed that.
It's a good one.
That was one of the better ones, I thought.
It's one of those sort of silly ones that sort of... Yeah.
But again, it's all based around the characters.
Yes.
So it's got very little to do with actually where they are.
No, it could be in any place. You
could have set that story
in any place.
Yeah.
That could have been a Dad's Army story.
Yeah.
Really, you just change the sex of the person and
But yeah, I do love all the Mr. Granger being really, really grumpy.
He was really grumpy. He's had a proper grouchy time in this one.
So yeah, but yeah, almost at the
end of the series.
the end of the series, isn't it? That's amazing.
Next week's episode is Oh What a Tangled Web.
All right.
And then we shall do the Christmas special, which is the Father Christmas Affair.
For
Christmas. That's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, I think we said that already.
If anybody's seen it, they'll know what we're talking about.
Okay, so we'll say good night and see you again soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.